Hello, folks. Today we're going to be talking about the role that prices play in economics and how they can act as signals, incentives, and as information aggregators in particular. So, real quick, you might be wondering, I thought that a price just told us how much something costs. And you know what? I used to think the same thing for a while, but there's a bit more to it than that. So, one of the things that prices does is it communicates information and not just to the consumers about how much they're paying for goods. The information learned from prices is super important, in particular for potential sellers and buyers to determine their next moves. And in specific, prices help both sellers and buyers out by acting as signals, incentives, and aggregating information. So let's look at prices as a signal. They can essentially signify certain things to potential buyers and sellers, and it's essentially the way consumers can communicate their demand to sellers. And then, once we have the signal, we can determine an incentive. So for sellers, what that might look like is if a price is stagnant, if it's not moving around a whole lot, buyers are communicating that this price just about matches their marginal benefits, so they're okay with how things are going. But if the price skyrockets, then that's a sign this good is being seen as even more valuable. And then on the flip side, for buyers, what that might look like when the price is high, that typically is signifying that, this good is more scarce. And that looks like buying less of it sometimes. But, when the price is low, that means, you have more of a chance to indulge in that good. Something to note though is if you're enjoying this good, others are enjoying this good, and more people start to enjoy this good, the price might go up. Now, real quick, let's combine what we know and put that into action in the form of an example. So you might be familiar with this logo. This is for the brand Revlon, and they're a common household name, but believe it or not, in 2022, in June, they actually filed for bankruptcy. So, what led them to this decision? Although I'm oversimplifying to some degree, the price had a lot to do with it. In 2022, their stock price deteriorated greatly from pre-pandemic levels, specifically 2017, and, this was a sign to the company that it might soon be time to say goodbye. This leads us to kind of our next point. Revlon was kind of able to interpret information from their price to aggregate information from it, and, by doing that, we can make effective decisions. Let's put that into an example real quick as well, put that in action. So this is a prediction market specifically for the 2024 Democratic presidential nomination in the US. And what we know is that when people are putting their own money on the line, prediction markets as a result are more accurate than, say, your average poll. And what we can interpret here is that candidates with higher prices, like Joe Biden, for example, have a higher chance of winning that nomination than, say, somebody like Stacey Abrams. Yeah, all in all, I hope, you're able to understand